In the world of board games, card games, and trading card games, here are the new releases for the week of May 6th, 2019. For the Arkham Horror card game, there's a new Mythos pack for the greater good, which includes some brand new upgrades you can add to your decks for that game. From Atlas Games is a new one called Godsforge, in which players are casting spells by rolling dice and playing cards, trying to eliminate the player to their left. And then there's Mystic Vale Harmony, the latest Mystic Vale expansion, which adds a bunch of new cards, new ways to upgrade your cards, and special amulets that give you new player powers.
Of course, we have another Monopoly, this time based on the popular Japanese anime show My Hero Academia, which asks you to go Ultra Plus while your opponents go broke. We've also got 2 new TCG sets, Magic the Gathering War of the Spark, which is pretty much the Avengers Endgame from Magic the Gathering. And we've also got Pokemon Unbroken Bonds. Well, there'll be special tag team cards, which will pair up a regular one with a legendary Pokemon, usually one of them being not as popular as the other.
And I believe they also are bringing back baby Pokemon in the new Unbroken Bond set. So if you're a big fan of those babies, which I assume they stopped printing originally because they are useless in battle, but maybe they have a purpose now that people like them for.
Now you feel guilty for beating them.
Not a ton this week, but I think a lot of people probably are making way for War of the Spark, right? I mean, that's huge.
Well, yeah, the interesting thing is the way Magic does promos is really weird. And a while back, they started doing these full art promos of the Planeswalkers that were only available first on their store, which was only in America, which got people angry if you weren't in America. Then they did it online through eBay, which they did again this year. And for whatever reason, something happened and they pretty much oversold twice the amount that they had to sell of the limited number. So that's caused a huge, kerfuffle because some people's orders were canceled when they still could go back and buy it again or something. It's all
that's
this
a
weird
bummer.
stuff.
That's a bummer.
Meanwhile, they also, the Japanese versions of the game, instead of making a special promo box that only had 12,000 copies for the one I mentioned before, half the packs have special alternate art from Japanese artists. Which, I'm like, that seems like a better method because you don't need to print a special, it's just in the boxes. So I'm really curious to see how this turns out, and because I assume this is an experiment to see how well those do. And if that does really well, then they're like, well, just all the packs now will come with maybe alternate art. Because I think that's the easier method to give out promos or something.
Have they made any kind of a statement or apology about...
eBay did.
Okay. That makes sense. That tracks. But hey, I'm sure tons of people are hopefully have their sets and are exploring all of that stuff right now.
I'm sure about a quarter of them at least are reselling them online for twice the price.
Yeah, that's something that's always bound to happen. The Godsforge game I thought sounded kind of interesting. Like I said, you're only attacking the player to your left, and there is, when someone is eliminated, they leave the game and everyone else starts taking damage until the game ends, so kind of like a Clank style where it speeds it up. That's not a mechanic that I'm that crazy about sometimes, but it sounded interesting, that game. And the new Mystic Vale expansion, I think that's a game that...
Isn't it the big box?
It is a larger box. Yeah, I don't know. I guess it's just a lot more cards, but there's a couple that sounded like new mechanical things in there. That's a game that I just didn't... I thought it was fine, but it didn't grab me that much.
To be fair, we played it really wrong
Well,
the first
originally we played it incorrectly, but even when we played it correctly, I don't know. I think the expansions would make me like it better, because I thought the base game was a little too simple.
I gotcha.
But... I do think the mechanic of crafting cards is pretty neat.
One more small thing, it's not a board game, but it's board game related. PAX Unplugged has finally announced the dates for its show this year, and it's going to be December 6th through the 8th.
That's right. Badges will be available for sale on May 9th, so you can get ready to secure your place at the show, as well as possibly hotel or transportation needs. I did find it strange. I wonder what was going on behind the scenes, because normally a convention, in my experience, they'll announce the next year's dates pretty much at the current year's show. This took them a long, we're only 7 months from this show before they announced the date.
I do think one of the probable things is one, I can't remember, was it last year or the year before? It was the same time as Board Game Geek Con.
Right, I do remember that. I think it was their first year. Yeah.
And if they wanted to move the date, it's probably then a whole kerfuffle with contracts and stuff with the Philadelphia Convention Center, and so that would be my guess. I think it was that. It just takes such a long time to really get all those things corrected and fixed.
I think it's a tricky time of year too because it's so close to Thanksgiving
And Christmas.
holidays. Yeah, people are moving around. So hopefully next time they'll have it sorted out just because it bothers me not knowing for so long.
I will say we really do enjoy the show, partly because we're close to it.
Yeah, no, it's if you have the chance to go, you're in the area. It's a nice, somewhat quiet convention, although it may get even bigger this year still. So we'll see how that goes. Let us know in the comments if you're hitting up PAX Unplugged this year, or if you're buying any of the games that we talked about, you're playing War of the Spark, or you can let us know what baby Pokemon do in Pokemon the trading card game. Until next time, I'm Jonathan.
I'm Will.
And this is Roll for Crit. Make sure you click the like and subscribe buttons so you get more board game content from Roll for Crit.
Do it. Do it now.